Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sup Homeslice 5th show. You can see me. I'm right here in the bottom corner. Make myself a little bigger for you real quick. Do appreciate everybody joining in. Sorry about the late start. A little bit of technical difficulties. No worries, though. We're going to get a show for you, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to focus on some NFL futures. Probably be a really quick show. Still give you a live pizza parlay to take advantage of, take a look at. We'll be looking at all kinds of stuff. We're probably looking at the WNBA, though. Try to build our pizza parlay via that. Okay. As always, if you want to put in a comment. Sorry, just looking at something on the side. Yeah, if you want to leave your comments on there, I'll be glad to get them up here for you. And we can also put your thoughts on these upcoming futures. Today we're going to be looking at quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. Okay. So once again, this is Sup Homeslice, a show about fantasy and betting. I'm going to be breaking down the betting a little bit today, looking, like I said, at some futures. Keep in mind, the Super Bowl is not till February 9th, February 7th or 9th. I can't remember. I think it's 9th. Maybe it's the 5th. It's an odd number. The point being is sometimes season-long payoffs don't happen until the Super Bowl. A lot of times they happen at the end of the regular season, which will still be 2025. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're looking at futures. You're putting the unit down for a long-term investment. We'll have to see how it returns. Sometimes it's nice to kind of get that right after the in-season tournament in the NBA, and then just switch all your focus over there, which is what we'll be doing over here at the Sports Affiliation. All right, so go ahead and bring up the screen. We'll take a look at it together. Not like that, though. And, we'll just take a look right here. We'll hop right into it. Looking at some of the quarterback markets. First, let's look at some passing yards, all right? Patrick Mahomes is obviously, going to be one of the popular names right here. Player to have 4,000 regular season passing yards, parlay up to 6 selections. So we could put a pizza parlay on this. 4,000 yards is not what it used to be. So actually, let's just hop into it right now with the pizza parlay. 4,000 yards. Dak Prescott, that's a must. We expect him to get there, no problem, right? Tua Tagovailoa, no problem. Going to get to 4,000 yards. Well, let's back off of Tua. Can he stay healthy? We've already kind of got one injured quarterback with Dak. We know Patrick Mahomes, not much value probably on this parlay, but he's playing through pain. He's going to play through injury. We expect him to be able to do that. Joe Burrow, can he do it? Not much of a running game there. I do like that. Joe Burrow, going to have T. Higgins, going to have Jamar Chase, going to have Mike Gesicki right there. Moss, can he catch out the backfield? Surely he can. Pretty sure that's why they brought him on board. So right there, 4,000 yards, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow. That comes in at plus 202. That's not too shabby by any accounts, all right? We look at some of these bottom names. We want to stay away. Lamar Jackson, 4,000 yards. It's at plus 1,300. Let's pull up some stats real quick and look and see what Lamar 2023 stats were. Did he have 4,000 passing yards? 3,678. So they didn't quite have that. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a big gamble. I guess Derrick Henry being there, you don't know. You just don't know. Kyler Murray, if you really believe in Marvin Harrison and Zay Jones, that's not a bad combination. Jordan Love has such a plethora of wide receivers, but are they changing their offense? Are they going to run more? Brock Purdy, can he get there? That's an interesting dynamic. I'm still leaning. I don't know why I am still leaning on Lamar Jackson. I just think that's a very interesting kind of take on it. We'll see what's going on. CJ Stroud, though, kind of hard for me to pass up on him as well. So that right there, going with 4 of the 6 favorites, 4 of the 6 highest odds. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. I think that allows for a lot of, it's going to be fun to watch as long as these guys don't get injured. I don't see how they don't get to 4,000. Patrick Mahomes has Hollywood Brown, Rashid Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Travis Kelce, and Isaiah Pacheco out the backfield. All right, Dak Prescott, the number 1 offense in the league last year. So that should be a gimme with CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks. Nothing has changed. You got Tolbert there. You got Ezekiel Elliott, who can catch out the backfield, who is also a better pass protector than Tony Pollard. And then Yeah, you got Ferguson over there as well. So Dallas, no reason for that not to happen. That could be pretty easy for him to get 4,000. I don't know why they necessarily wouldn't get 4,000. I think that's pretty easy. What's up, Jerry? Thanks for hopping in, man. What do you think, Jerry? Any of these guys not going to get past 4,000 yards? Just let me know. Anybody else has a comment? Let me know. We'll pop in there. We'll take a look. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go with this pizza parlay right off the bat too. So, plus 3,222 for something that almost seems like a give me to happen. CJ Stroud has Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, Joe Mixon. We already went over Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow. Like I said, we've got all the weapons there. There's that. It's a loaded playmaker squads on these teams, and I think that's pretty good odds. So if you put $50 on that, it brings back 211 that you would get kind of as a long-term investment. Like I'm gonna think of it like a CD with a better interest rate. You can take a look at that right there. Put this down. 4 teams, 322, and for my pizza, like what I like my ingredients would like to be. I'm actually feeling some heat right now. So why don't you give me some capicola on there, and I want jalapenos, green chilies. What else can I put on there that I'd really like? With the capicola, let's go ahead and put some Italian sausage on there. Make it like a true, spicy meatball kind of thing going on there. Capicola, jalapenos, green chili, Italian sausage. That's a pie, man, right there. Traditional good red sauce. Man, have to throw the sauce on a little thick. Just acidity. Make it like an acidic pizza. Tastes really good on the way down. May not be so good for the way on the people out, right? But you got to have the bite sometimes. Not necessarily a spicy pick. If you want to do something spicy, you throw Lamar on that bad boy. It becomes a 5,819 odd parlay. He has some standalone value at 1,300. Why is he out here hanging out with Jaden Daniels, Daniel Jones, Drake May, Bo Nix? This is a 2-time MVP, people. 2-time MVP that will have Mark Andrews, that will have Zay Flowers, that will have Rashawn Bateman. Derrick Henry, he might take away some touchdowns, but then again, he can open up the depth of this defense. If people start crowding the box for Henry, you got to trust Lamar Jackson to make those cover 2 throws, to make those seam throws, to hit somebody on a go route, to hit somebody on an out and up. Somebody's got to be open, and for him to get big chunk plays, 4,000 yards, I just think Lamar Jackson, if you want the spice, go for it, because I think that's a very, very good call. Plus 1,300. I think he's got a better chance than Will Levis at plus 450. I think he's got a better chance than Deshaun Watson, who doesn't even seem like he wants to play football, can't stay healthy. He's got a better chance than Derek Carr, who just dinks and dunks his way down the field. Put some money on Lamar. Let's do it, baby. 5,819, man. That right there would bring you back $2,959.66. So, if you could lay down $50 on this bet, long-term investment with Lamar Jackson. Now you're asking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 QBs to stay healthy. So if you wanted to take one off, let's just say you take off the lowest odds on this, Patrick Mahomes. You're still coming in at plus 5,000. You put that 50 on it, that's 2.5 racks back at you. I mean, was there not the love about that for the parlay, man? Put Lamar on there. Let's live a little. Let's be spicy. All right, let's take a look at passing touchdowns. We'll just kind of whiz through this. Player to throw 25 or more regular season pass touchdowns. It's just pretty crappy odds. I mean, we're going Jared Goff, Tua Tagovailoa down here. Caleb Williams is coming in at plus 115. My God, I don't even think he gets it. I wish I could take his under. Then you got 30, and you got 35. So there's 35. Let's take a look here. That's a lot of touchdowns, man. That is over 2 passing touchdowns a week. Okay, so put that in perspective. 17 regular season games. They play all 17, including the last one in their playoffs. Regardless of their seeding, if they can get seeding or not, that's still 2+ change. 17 times 2 is 34. So you got to have at least a 3 touchdown game. Man, that's pretty rough. I don't know who you would expect to throw that many touchdowns. It's got to be a team with a bad running back. Maybe Joe Burrow. Maybe Joe Burrow can throw 35 touchdowns. Maybe Lamar Jackson at plus 3,000 again. Maybe Matthew Stafford. Boy, Justin Herbert, if he did it, that would be crazy. But not as much value on the 25, 30s. Once again, you're asking almost 2 per game. I think we'll stay away from that market. I enjoy the yards much more. And you can always go add some more yards. You could add 4,500 yards. Now you're asking about 300 a game, Well, you're asking about a little under 300 a game for 16 games. 16 times 3 would be 48. So, yeah, you're still going to need about 260 a game. I mean, if they have a blowout game and they're running the ball and he only gets about 140 yards, that's going to hurt those odds. I like the 4,000. I think we got something pretty spicy right here with Lamar, Joe, CJ, and Dak. All right. Now let's move over to everybody's favorite position, the one everybody loves, running backs. What's up, Daniel? If I had to pick one that is most likely to miss, I would say Dak. Thank you, Jerry. I mean, that he does miss games. I do think Mike McCarthy, he's a quarterback whisperer. Basically, Dak could get an extension just because of how loyal Jerry Jones is to his players, right? So Dak could go out and become the $60 million man, really cripple the Cowboys' chances to ever win a Super Bowl. But Mike McCarthy doesn't have that opportunity. The Cowboys pretty much have to go to the NFC Championship game and play well, like almost win it, I think, or do better, go to the Super Bowl. That's the two options. Win the Super Bowl, go to the Super Bowl, go to the NFC Championship, and lose on the last-second field goal without a mental error. I think that's the only way Mike McCarthy kind of comes back as a coach. And you're talking about one of the greatest coaches of all time, despite what people might think. He's one of the most winning coaches of all time. He's done nothing but win since he's been in Dallas. So I just think there's potential that they're going to have to play to win it all this year. And I think Mike McCarthy's going to go with him. He's going to lay it on the line for himself. He's going to, worry about Dan Quinn anymore. He's the guy calling these plays. We're going to run it. We'll see how they do, though. All right. Let's go back to the running back market. My favorite one, player to have 1,000 regular season yards. Man, that's tough, man. You're talking about injury. We're not going to get 1,500 yard rushers anymore. Yeah, that's so rare. I mean, you go back 20 years ago, I think there was 12 or 13 1,500 yard running backs. Now there's one. It is culture changes, technology changes, and the NFL is just a product of the culture and the technology of the time. It's really all it is. So that's a tough one. I think a good running back right here, if you want plus odds on 1,000 yards, how can you not love Travis Etienne Jr.? Basically no backup threat on a good team that wants to control the ball, team that drafted him highly, want him to do well. I think that's a pretty good one. Let's look at one that might be interesting here. Devin Singletary, back with Dable. It's not like he doesn't know this offense. Not like he is unfamiliar with the terminology. And I thought he did pretty well last year. I think there's a good opportunity, especially for them to take some pressure off of Daniel Jones. Like, hey, Devin, go out there and get us 4 or 5 yards on this first down, okay? Let's make it easier. You could see a lot of that. I think plus 320, that's worth a sprinkle on a season-long bet. Man, Raheem Mostert, after the season he just had, how can you not have him? Ezekiel at 600. Down here with the QBs, I think Zeke's got a pretty good chance to get there, honestly. 600. Maybe I'm putting too much faith in this Cowboys offense, and I just told you that they're going to pass. Tony Pollard had a lot of carries last year. I'm not sure that they're just going to run away. Rashid White at plus 210. I think that's pretty interesting. Hard to get there. Let's look at the touchdowns. This is the better route. Still need those running backs and fat boys to punch it in from 5 yards out. Not everybody has these quarterbacks that can make reads within 5 seconds and then throw a really accurate throw. Most of the time, towards the sideline, low, away. That's hard to do. Those people don't just grow on trees. 10 regular season touchdowns, 13 regular season touchdowns. No one to make 13 touchdowns. That is very interesting to me. 2 quarterbacks to be behind it all. Jonathan Taylor could get there, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Let's take a look at 10, though, maybe more achievable. Still a lot of good odds on here. So Derrick Henry, negative 185, leading the way with Christian McCaffrey, CMC. But those guys should be there. They're throwback running backs. They could have played in the 90s. They could have played in any era, really. And I love them for that. They may be some of our last true great running backs. Jalen Hurts and then Josh Allen come in at negative odds as well. 10 touchdowns. That's pretty bold. I don't think that they're – I think people are underestimating how important Jason Kelsey was for that offensive line. I understand that people that don't play football don't understand how critical the center is. Most of the time, your center is the one making all your checks. Most of the time, your center is the one telling your quarterback what to do. Oftentimes, your center is one of the most intelligent people on the football field at any given moment. Okay, so be mindful of that. You know that losing that presence and what he was, and the tush push, and the chemistry he probably had with Jalen Hurts, and the dependability. I don't think if we could take for him not to get 10 touchdowns, I totally would. Because I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to get 10 rushing touchdowns. Hence why they brought in Saquon Barkley. Josh Allen, I just don't think they're going to want to run with him, but he's what he's what you call a rambler and a gambler. He schematics, play designs. When the play breaks down, Josh Allen's going to do what he knows he can do, which is run and run over people. But can he stay healthy? That's going to be the trick. I mean, he's the biggest guy in their backfield, so I can understand that. JT, Jonathan Taylor, 10 touchdowns. As long as he stays healthy, I don't think Anthony Richardson vultures him. I think Anthony Richardson's been probably told, like, hey, we need you to be successful. You know, we brought in Joe Flacco, but we're putting our franchise on you. Stay healthy. Hand the ball off to JT. Let him do that. You know, that's what we have him for. And I think that's a pretty good odds. David Montgomery, I'm just staying away from it because of a split backfield. Same with Raheem Mostert. Can't believe Anthony Richard comes in at plus 250 behind JT. But they're telling you that offense is going to score a lot via the ground, okay? When you got a good offensive line, that's what you should do. Jahmyr Gibbs, once again, split backfield, not a fan of it. Breece Hall, you got to worry about Aaron Rodgers checking away from you, man. I think there's been a lot of times I've seen as a Packer that Aaron Jones was called to run a play. Aaron Rodgers checked out of it. That's what scares me. Josh Jacobs, I'm not sure. I think he's dependable. I think that the Packers want to use him as a featured back. But they also drafted a good rookie, and they held on to A.J. Dillon. You know, both of those guys could be just as good around the goal line. I think Josh Jacobs not struggle from the goal line, but need more than one rush to get in. Devon Achane, 285. Bijan Robinson, 425, man, to score 10 touchdowns. Are you freaking kidding me? That's the smash of the day right there. Put a unit on that bad boy. Plus 425, Bijan Robinson, 2. Score 10 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins is the man. Kirk Cousins is not going to check away with his ego. I think even though you got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Mooney, I believe, Darnell Mooney over there in that second spot. You no longer have Cordell Patterson. Bijan Robinson was taking the reins, and I think the new coaching staff really just wants to feature Bijan Robinson. Why wouldn't you? You drafted him so dang high, and you drafted high on a backup quarterback this year. You're going to put it on Robinson. Plus 425. We are laying the hammer down. Isaiah Pacheco, I think plus 500 is another one. Once again, you got to worry about Mahomes with his quick ability to read the defense, look at the defense. That could be risky. Travis Etienne, I think he gets there too. You know, I think he does. I think he's going to have another big year. I think he's gotten overshadowed by his collegiate teammate most of his time in Jacksonville, but that team runs through Etienne Jr., man. That's how I feel. Najee Harris, I love him this year. Split backfield, I'm a little worried about that. Zach Moss, I think, once again, you got to worry about, Joe Burrow. Rashid White, plus 800. I kind of like that, honestly. But Baker, you got Mike Evans on the outside. You got Goodwin in the slot. Dude, they're just such big boys. They're such problems. They're problems for people, not to mention Kate Otten, who's probably the biggest of those three. Maybe not height-wise on Evan. I don't know. Actually, I think Otten is taller than Evans. You just got three big presents. You're not going to have three DBs that can match up with that height close to the goal line. I think Rashid White's going to have a fantastic fantasy year. I think there's potential for him to get 10 rushing touchdowns at plus 800. But, man, Mike Evans, Otten, Godwin, or Goodwin, they all scare me. So just keep that in mind. All right. Look, Swift, no. Cooks, Pollard, I don't think so. Jones, bad offense. Lamar Jackson, that could happen. They're just down on Lamar Jackson this year. Jonathan Brooks, I'm not buying that at all. I don't even know if Carolina can get a collective 10 rushing touchdowns this year. Jaden Daniels, he better not. If he tries to score 10 rushing touchdowns, he ain't playing 17 games. Devin Singletary, bad offense. Alvin Kamara, dependability issues. Zamir White, I just don't trust everything I'm seeing in Las Vegas. And then Jalen Warren, like I said, split backfield. Let's go ahead and take a look at the wide receivers real quick. I think this is pretty interesting. Uh, I took a peek at this earlier. Wide receiver milestones. Here we go. 750. We're not even looking at that. Get that out of here. All right. We're talking 1250. That's the number we need to be looking at. There it is. Because you can start getting some decent odds on everybody. Granted, you got to have people stay healthy. How do you not like Amon-Ra St. Brown? He's 1250. I'm not worried about Laporta. I'm not worried about Gibbs. I'm not worried about any of those people because they specifically draw up plays for Amon-Ra to move the chains, move the chains, move the chains. That is his job in this offense. I think that's an excellent look at right there. I also like Mike Evans, the perennial yardage guy, perennial touchdown guy. Why not, man? Why not? What's stopping that from happening? I really like Zay Flowers this year. I'm all over it. 1250. It goes back to my Lamar Jackson theory. Is he going to get 30? Is he going to get 4,000 yards? Hopefully, and if he does, Zay Flowers will almost have to be 1,300 yards, 1,250 yards of it. There's not really a way around it. Murray Cooper could get there. I don't dislike that. Travis Kelce plus 650 to be at 1,250. I mean, it's a tight end that's hard, but he is the feature of that backfield. Kind of how I feel about the yardage. You can look down here at the thousands. Where's he go? Travis Kelce to have 1,000 yards is plus 190. That's not too shabby in my opinion for a guy that should be the most targeted player on the team. He's getting older, but he's already said, "Put the load on me. I'm ready." He's dancing, and he's been dancing in his offseason, so I think he'll be fine. That's a pretty good one. Let's just leave that up there for the audience. We'll review that. Thank you, producer. And receptions. Let's just go look at reception touchdowns. All right, 5. I'm not messing around with 5. 7. I'm not messing around with 7. We want the big boys. We want 10s. Everybody's at plus odds at 10s. Who can do it? Mike Evans can do it. I don't know why you think he can't. Mark Andrews can do it. Travis Kelce can do it. Amon-Ra St. Brown can do it. What about a dark chance to get 10-plus touchdowns? DeAndre Hopkins, the possession receiver? I mean, that's not out of the world. And that's not out of this, it's doable. I think Christian Kirk could do it too. 10 touchdowns for Christian Kirk, going to be the underneath guy. They're going to try to stretch defenses with Gabe Davis. Get down in the red zone. You're going to need Christian Kirk. That's what you're going to need to happen. All right. That pretty much wraps it up, everything today. I do want to review everything we did. Once again, with the pizza parlay, we went Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, TJ Stroud, Lamar Jackson, baby. We took it off. Canes out over plus 5,000. All those guys that have 4,000 yards. I mean, goodness gracious, why not? That seems like a fun bet to me. Devin Singletary to have 1,000 regular season rushing yards. I could see that happening in New York. Just kind of make everybody forget about Saquon real quickly. Hand the ball off to him often in an offense that he knows well. Bijan Robinson, I'm smashing this as soon as we get off the air. To score 10 regular season touchdowns, I'm putting a unit on it. That should be – I don't see how that doesn't happen, honestly. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 1,250 yards. I like that at straight evens like we discussed. 1,250 yards, Mike Evans if you're feeling bold. Zay Flowers if you're feeling bolder. 1,000-yard variety, we took Travis Kelce, plus 190. Plus odds for Kelce to have 1,000 yards. I mean, he doesn't have to go out and score a bunch of touchdowns. He's just got to move the chain and keep his rhythm. With Patrick Mahomes, I think that is a very easy bet. As long as he doesn't get injured, you should be good there. 10 touchdowns, Mike Evans. I think Kelsey's got a better chance to get 1,000 yards than Mike Evans 10 touchdowns, but that's not bad odds either. And then Mark Andrews plus 750 for 10 touchdowns, Kelsey plus 650 for 10 touchdowns, Amon-Ra St. Brown plus 190. If you want a wild hair, DeAndre Hopkins plus 1,400, man. He's a big possession guy. Calvin Ridley might be the wide receiver one there. Tyler Boyd could eat into his volume. But that guy with those hands on the goal line, with the passing power of Will Levis, I think they could eat because I don't think Tolly Pollard's going to get a lot of touchdowns. I think Hopkins could lead the team in touchdowns, and at plus 1,400, it's worth a sprinkle. I mean, even if you put 20 on it, right, that's still going to be a $300 payout. Not bad. Not bad at all. I do want to remind everybody we do have a Thursday check down tonight with Greg and Tip. You want to make sure you check that out. Going to have our guest over there. I blinked on his name. Give me just a second. I'll have that pulled up. Well, I don't want to have dead air time. But come check it out. It'll be on at 7 o'clock Eastern, not too long from now, about 2.5 hours. And we have a fantasy football focus of this year. We switched kind of from the history with Greg and Tip now to focusing on this year, being involved with what's going on, taking a look at it all, evaluating, because so many people are drafting. I'm drafted in 5 leagues right now. Fantasy Football 7 still drafting. We're in day 11. It's a lot of fun. So make sure you come check that out as well. I do want to say thanks to everybody that tuned in. I know we got a late start today. But we did break down some good futures. I mean, my God, plus 5,000. How do we not like that? How do we not like us being able to talk about also one of my favorite ones? Let me just bring it back up for everybody. Bijan Robinson scored 10 touchdowns plus 425. Let's go put some money. Let's put a full unit on that, okay? That's going to return, all right? And even if he gets 10 touchdowns in like week 11, you might have to still wait for the end of the regular season depending on your book. All right, let's keep that in mind as well. I do want to give a little quick shout out to our sponsors right here, drafters. Make sure you put in TSA bets, and the video breaks it down.
Here we go.
All right, just to recap once again, the pizza parlay, we're putting capicola, green chili, jalapenos, Italian sausage on a thick red sauce pizza, a lot of cheese too, just heavy pizza. It sounds so good to me right now. I definitely want to do that. And then also the bet was CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson over plus 5,000 odds for those guys to get 4,000 yards. I don't really see the risk. And then once again, Bijan Robinson plus 450, 10 tutties. Got our guy Cole over there. Colt's over there. He's over there whipping up the food for him, serving him the good protein. So I know he's going to get 10 TDs. Not worried about his tutties. Shout out to my guy Colt Snooty down there. And Jerry, thank you for being here the whole time, man. Love the Bijan pick too. Jerry, we got to get you on the show. As always, guys, take care of yourself. Bet smart. If you're out there betting, have your bankroll established. Don't blow it all. Okay, we got football coming up. We want to have a nice, good bankroll there for that. All right, guys. Until next week, I'll be back out of here. Hopefully, we have Evan here next week. Pretty much all NFL, NBA going forward. I do want to say Russell Westbrook signed with the Denver Nuggets. Probably going to push those odds back. I thought them losing their first round pick, who they moved up to get for the entire season, would make their odds move. It doesn't. Just a lot of faith in Nikola. The odds may move again. It's still the highest it's been in 17 months. 19 months. So go hop on it. Put a little sprinkle on the Nuggets. Just show them some love. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.